Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
The Cheshire School District is looking to change its cell phone policy for students. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden. In August, Governor Ned Lamont and Commissioner Charlene Russell Tucker insisted that school districts implement policies on personal technology in schools. The Cheshire District sent out a survey to parents for feedback on their cell phone policy. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot talked to Cheshire's superintendent about the policy today.
Cell phones are used by nearly everyone, including students, but some schools say smartphones are a distraction when it comes to learning. Cheshire School District is considering updating its policy. Cheshire's Board of Education cell phone policy is 23 years old.
The Board of Education policy was written in 2001 and is very dated, obviously, talking about pagers and beepers. As things have evolved, we have protocols in our schools.
The current Board of Education policy states a person who discovers a student with a pager, beeper, or cellular telephone should report the violation and confiscate the device and contact the parent or guardian. Since cell phones are used more than they were in 2001, each grade level has different practices for phones in school. For students in kindergarten through 6th grade, phones and any kinds of electronic devices are not permitted. For middle school students, phones and any kinds of electronic devices are not allowed during the school day. And for high schoolers, cell phones are allowed, but only during lunch and if needed in their study halls. Due to the practice and policy being different, Dr. Solon wants to adjust the policy.
Maybe it should reflect the current practice, maybe it should reflect something different, and we're getting stakeholder feedback to inform that process.
And parents are weighing in.
I think it's a responsibility of the parents to really teach the children, what's appropriate cell phone usage, when it's appropriate to use it, and how to use it. And so I just feel like the school is reinforcing something that the parents really should be instilling in their children at home.
In a survey sent out Thursday, parents were asked whether they agree with the practice for each grade level, and if not, what would they change?
What we're looking to do is gather feedback about how is the existing practice working for people, and do we need to adjust that as we form a policy.
Dr. Solon wants to make it clear the Board of Education doesn't want to get rid of phones, but does realize they can distract students in class.
They create a lot of disciplinary issues, let alone take away focus from what's going on in the room. So yeah, we've had a lot of feedback about that, but this will also solicit feedback from our staff about what's their experience been this year when we've really cracked down and enforced this practice in our buildings, and maybe that needs to become board policy.
The next policy meeting is on January 7th, and parents are welcome to attend or send additional feedback. In Cheshire, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Kay, thank you. Time now for a first look at the forecast and the roller coaster temperatures we're expecting. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank now. Rach?
Yeah, yesterday temperatures were in the 60s. Today, winter has returned, and it looks like that chill is only going to settle in as we head through the days ahead. We're not seeing super strong gusts anymore, but occasionally we'll see a gust to 15, 18, 20 miles an hour, and that will take the temperature that's mostly in the 30s and upper 20s and drive down what it feels like, this is the wind chill, into the teens and 20s. And I think it'll feel like the teens for most of the state by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Although just a little bit of a breeze, we're not expecting the wind to be as strong as it was outside today or certainly yesterday. Actual overnight lows will drop back near 20 degrees, and we'll see lots of sunshine tomorrow from start to finish, feeling like winter with high temperatures climbing into the lower to middle 30s as we head through the afternoon, and a clear night tomorrow night. Very similar weather for Saturday, Sunday, and then we've got more warmth heading into next week, and with it comes more wet weather. We'll take a look at that, plus your weekend forecast coming up in just a bit. Brent.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, a holiday Grinch has carved a path of destruction across Terryville, earning the haunting nickname the Terryville Slasher. And as families continue to count down the days until Christmas, some are now choosing to keep their holiday decor inside. So is this a harmless prank or a calculated scheme to damper spirits? We send Fox 61's Jamel Johnson to find out.
While families across the state are taking time to put up Christmas decorations, Others are taking pride in spoiling their Christmas joy. That's right. If you have a blow-up Santa, elf, or reindeer in front of your yard right now, it might not be there tomorrow.
In the town of Terryville and the surrounding areas of Plymouth and Bristol, people are speaking out about what they can only describe as an act of cruelty.
People, they like to ruin things.
Christopher Sauls, who's lived in Bristol all his life, has a passion for decorating during Christmas.
So it started when I was about 5 years old, just a small little thing. And then over the years, it's just slowly grown into what it is now.
But not everyone has appreciated his displays.
We had about 15 inflatables get vandalized. About 5 were stolen. I had a 20-foot Uncle Sam that was slashed.
Christopher has had so much experience with destroyed decorations that he's offered to help people patch their inflatables up in the neighboring town of Terryville, where the culprit is known as the Terryville Slasher.
And I know how rotten it is. And I hope that maybe there's some stricter punishments with law enforcement in the future with this to stop whoever is doing it.
When Amber Page Gear heard what was going on, she couldn't imagine how she'd feel if someone destroyed her inflatable beaver that she drove all the way to Massachusetts to get.
There'd be an army of upset people to literally try to hurt people by doing something like that. It's just wrong.
Even though the slashers remain at large, they aren't stopping the Christmas spirit.
I would have stopped probably years ago if others weren't enjoying it. Even during other months of the year that the holidays aren't here, I got people asking me, oh, what's new for this year? Are you going to do it again?
Now, whether you have one inflatable Santa or a dozen in your front yard, nobody is safe from the Terryville and Bristol slashers. If you are a victim of said property vandalism, do not hesitate to reach out to the police. In Bristol, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jamel, thank you. A new reward is being offered for information on the hit-and-run death of a Hartford public servant. The governor's office and the New London DA have put up a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Someone hit Noel McGregor on Route 2 in Colchester, and he died from his injuries after a month in the hospital. State police want to find the person responsible. Information will be kept confidential. New York State Police were investigating a deadly small plane crash near the Connecticut border. Police responded to a plane crash on I-684 in Harrison, New York, near the Westchester County Airport, less than a mile from the Connecticut border. Police say there were 2 people on the plane. One of them is dead. The crash shut down the nearby highway in both directions for several hours. It's unclear where the plane was flying to or from. We will update you when we learn more. Well, today, President Joe Biden announced the largest single-day act of clemency in modern history. Biden has commuted the sentences of roughly 1,500 Americans and pardoning 39 people convicted of nonviolent crimes, including a woman from Norwalk. 43-year-old Sharenda Janelle Harris was one of the 39 Americans pardoned today. According to the White House, she was convicted of a nonviolent drug offense nearly 2 decades ago when she was 24 years old. Since that conviction, Harris has maintained employment, become an engaged parent, and taken care of her fellow church parishioners.